more transfer talk. This time talking crap about other clubs around us, right? I mean, Chelsea? They're not going to win any titles this season, but they're clearly winning the transfer market. It seems like Enzo Fernandez announced. I think they ended up paying the release clause, signed him again on an 8-year contract. I mean, they're
What
essentially
is
building
this?
a dynasty at that club now. That's, I think, their fourth player on a long term contract that they've signed. Another big splurge of money. But let's keep the money side of it aside, right? Because the whole idea behind how they're justifying these spendings is that they are giving these players long contracts. That way they can spread the money around on their accounting on a longer term, which is how they, on a yearly basis, they're not paying quite as much for these players. That's the justification behind these humongous contracts, right? So I don't know if FFP is going to do anything about it, but clearly Chelsea have worked a way around it. And let's talk actually about the actual transfer, right? Enzo Fernandez. What is your opinion on this? They let Jorginho go and they got Enzo in.
Good for them. I think their midfield needed legs, and uh, their fans also needed someone new, different,
How
someone
many
out
new
of the
players?
box.
Mudrik is new. Badiashile is new. Mudweke is new. Felix on loan is new. How many more new players?
Again, you've got to understand they have half of the team that they don't really want. They have a new manager, or the current new manager. I don't even know when he'll get flipped over. A new, very, very, very ambitious and spend happy owner. So who's making these statement signings? Probably he wants to overthrow the Roman legacy by spending twice as much at the start. I think that's his way of doing things. And again, they got a World Cup winner in one of the star players in the World Cup. So at least they're getting PR and marketing. They're going to sell a good amount of kits right now. Even though Nike made a shit design, honestly, they're still going to sell out on a lot of kits. So, marketing, PR wise, everything else, great move. And they've exploited loopholes in the Premier League transfers or FFP or whatever. FFP is a joke. We all know that. Like, let's not even kid about that. So, they've exploited obvious loopholes, and then you have this side like a Premier League or a La Liga or another association coming out and saying, oh, they shouldn't have the Super League. But all of these just point to actually having a Super League, because these teams are operating on a different stratosphere, not atmosphere.
I mean, what bigger example do you need of the Premier League being the Super League when Keylor Navas signs from PSG on loan to Nottingham Forest? I mean, I don't even know where to begin on that transfer. But overall, I think it's a great move for Chelsea, right? Because he's definitely a great player. I mean, you remember, I was really looking forward to this kid right before the World Cup. I was marking this kid down as potentially one for Arsenal to go to, and I was honestly worried about this that he would
There was
shine.
a rumor.
Yeah, and I was honestly worried about it that he would shine so bright at the World Cup that Arsenal would just be priced out of a move for him, and essentially that's what's happened. And we've essentially picked up more leftovers from Chelsea at this point, right? But again, it's a great move for them. We've talked about this before. If you haven't seen this, so please go and check that one out. Why? Uh, More than now more than ever, Chelsea just need to give their players time. They need to give the managers time. So a lot of new players, a lot of new faces gotten through the club, and they just need to be patient now. Like, you cannot expect a flip in the next 6 months. Chelsea's not going to make top four. They just need to give the manager time.
Don't say it. Don't say it.
But
Don't
let's
say
move
it.
on. But let's move on to like the other more surprising. We'll not spend too much time on this.
Mhm.
But I just wanted to talk about that Sabitzer loan move to United. I don't think there is an option to buy. But again,
No.
Eriksen ruled out for with a long-term injury, possibly ruled out for the rest of the season for United. So they really had to jump on this and get a replacement in. They ended up deciding on Marcel Sabitzer from Bayern Munich. Not had that much game time at Munich. What do you think about this move?
Very much an impact player. Probably will do the same role as Ericsson, but I am certain that he's much more agile, doesn't really have certain underlying conditions which might restrict his playing ability. So I think they've got an upgrade. it's just an upgrade, but again, it's not additional cover. So he might end up playing a good amount of games
Mhm.
and win-win for United. Although the injury is a loss, but this seems like a win for United, at least from my point of view, at this point in time. Not sure how he aligns with the team, but right now seems like a win.
Yeah, I agree. He's a good player, especially if he beds into the Ten Hag system. I don't think he has quite the passing range that Eriksen has, but hopefully that is something that can be coached into his game. Slightly younger than Eriksen, and if if he works out this season, it might just make sense to make that move permanent. I don't think Bayern Munich didn't pay a whole bunch of money for him, so I don't think they would really ask for too much in exchange as well if United were to make this move permanent. So yeah, I think all in all, great last minute business jumping in. Again, some sort of stuffs like I wouldn't have mind him coming into into Arsenal at this point in time. But yeah, and then the shock move, right? Again, Bayern Munich involved. Joao Cancelo to Bayern Munich on loan. Apparently, a 70 million option to buy as well at the end of the loan.
Wow.
Uh,
City are smart.
but this move just came out of nowhere. Apparently, Cancelo had a bust up with Pep in training, to the point where Cancelo was just like, "I if you're not going to start me, I'm going to leave." And Pep was like, "Sure,
There's the
leave."
door.
Yeah. And this move just came out of nowhere. Cancelo is out, and Pep is. I don't know what to make of this. I like on one hand, I'm like I'm happy because that's like a very important player for the Man City team over the last 2 seasons that has just left. On the other side, I'm thinking, is that more of like, is that going to now make the squad more harmonious because you've taken out like a very toxic element from the team? I don't know what to make of this move. What are your thoughts on that?
Honestly, I think it's a good move. And it really shows that you could be the biggest star or probably one of the bigger stars in a star-studded club, but it's still under the control of the manager or under the control of the management and not based off of individual tantrums. It really sends out a message to the squad saying, hey, we know we are paying you a shitload of money, but we are paying everyone a shitload of money. So nobody's really special. You've all got to work together as a team and respect the opinion of the manager. And if you can't really understand about being benched or being rotated, the exit door is a good option where you go for game time. They, the management and the team really doesn't worry about you because you're already on the bench. It's a good move for City, in all honesty. Great for Bayern. They got a good enough Premier League proven resource. Good for City in the sense that, okay, now we are rid of that. So they might have to change their playing styles a little bit, but they
Mhm.
already have because Cancelo hasn't really been impactful this season. And I think it signals a different direction in which Pep is going to build his attack now. Especially with Haaland coming in, the attacks have changed quite a bit, and maybe this is just one more move in that direction.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, that's a lot of moving going around, right? Like they got rid of Jesus, Zinchenko, Gundogan is gonna leave at the end of the season. Fernandinho left a couple of seasons ago. De Bruyne kind of getting old. Rumors of Bernardo Silva probably on his way out as well. This seems like a big, cleaning of the house by Pep, who's almost completely changing his team again. There were also rumors of Mahrez, I think, in the summer possibly leaving. I think this is a great move for Manchester City, especially in the long run. In the short run, I do think it does leave them really short on that left hand side because Nathan Ake, completely different player compared to Joao Cancelo, cannot do a lot of the attacking things that Pep typically likes off his, fullback players. So maybe advantage Arsenal in that sense, leaves them a little bit thin on that edge. But overall, yeah, I think it's a healthy move for both club and manager, for both player and manager and club. But yeah, let us know if any other moves kind of shocked you in this transfer window, and let us know down in the comments below. As always, thank you so much for watching, and we will see you guys next time. Have a great day.